Avoid doing evil. Do not get drunk or addicted. Diligently do good deeds. Stay away from bad and evil people. Be able to be close to the virtuous. Respect those who are worthy of respect. Be able to care for and support your parents. Love your family. Know how to be humble and polite. Be content and grateful, and not miss any chance to learn the way. This is the greatest blessing. In a lifetime of worry, busyness, and fatigue, no matter how hard things are, our work can never be fully finished. A lifetime of frugality, gathering, and storing. No matter how much money we accumulate, it never seems enough. A lifetime of endurance, tolerance, and concern. No matter how cautious we are, we still make not a few mistakes. A lifetime of reading, feeling, and applying what we learn. No matter how intelligent we are, we still have to bear some losses. In this vast world, we small human beings should not take certain matters in life too heavily. Not everything will go our way. Do not oppress yourself. If you have already done your best with all your heart, then whatever the result, you should gladly accept it. Being busy is also a kind of happiness that helps us have no time for idle thoughts. Random sadness sometimes has its own joys, giving us a chance to experience real life. Fatigue is also a kind of enjoyment that helps us make full use of our time. Emptiness is also an experience that helps us understand life better, because life is not actually that bad. Right and wrong are both good experiences. Good and bad are all scenery. If the mind is at peace, happiness will always be present. In any case, life still goes on. Rather than worrying far off about eternal matters, it is better to keep peace in your soul in this very moment. In life, there is not enough time for regret. Once eaten, it's already eaten. No need to bring it up again. Once loved, it's already been loved. No need to overthink. Once separated, it's already parted. No need to hold on. Each person's life is nothing more than a journey. Riches and glory are like dewdrops on grass and flowers. At dawn, when we are born, we bring nothing with us, and when we die, we can take nothing along. Gaining or losing is nothing. Just go with the flow, and you will be at peace. You may be nothing to one person, but to someone else, you may be a priceless treasure. Remember where your own value lies, so that you can behave in the most appropriate way. There is no need to invite too many people into your life. Meeting someone who cherishes you, you will learn how to be grateful. Meeting someone you love, you will naturally know how to share. Meeting someone who does not understand you, over time, you will learn how to be tolerant. Meeting someone you do not understand, if you have the heart for it, you will cultivate the art of deep understanding. When you can let go of the past, value the present, and be cheerful about the future, that is when you are standing at a high position in life. When you can be tolerant of even the unpleasant things in life, caring only about responsibility without needing benefits, that is when you are standing at a high position of spirit. When you can look forward with hope, look down with compassion, and treat those above you with a grateful heart, that is when you are standing at a high position of the soul. In life, it is not only necessary to look far and see through, but also to view everything with real clarity. Only by looking far can you see the whole. Only by seeing through can you understand that in this bustling world, most people come for fame and leave for profit. Seeing clearly does not mean you have no more pursuits, but that your mind can be peaceful and calm. The most frightening aging of a person is not in appearance, but in losing the spirit of self-improvement. A person may not be able to change their outward appearance, but can completely improve their inner temperament. When character changes, life will change accordingly. Between husband and wife, and in all human relationships, remember that kindness, enthusiasm, and sincerity easily bring good results. Some smiles are more intimate than courtesy and can bring warmth to the person in front of you. No matter how optimistic a person is, there are times when they must shed inner tears. No matter how strong, there will be moments of feeling overwhelmed. We all wish that when it rains, there will be someone to hold an umbrella for us. When misfortune strikes, there will be someone to comfort us. When danger comes, there will be someone to protect us. But everyone also understands that no matter how far the road stretches, we ourselves must walk it. No matter how many things need doing, we ourselves must do them. Pain, no matter how hard it is to accept, must be something we step through on our own. When moods are unstable, we cannot afford not to stay clear-headed. When hearts change, we cannot afford not to adapt. Learn to cherish, and at times also learn how to forget. Facing what is hard to face is sometimes a kind of burden-bearing. Accepting what is hard to accept will help us grow more mature. Being misunderstood and not explaining yourself is magnanimity. What is true or false, time will give the best answer. Being hurt by others and not holding resentment is kindness, the warmth and coldness of human feelings. Time will prove it all. Being slandered and not feeling sad or angry shows cultivation of character. What is good or bad, time will illuminate clearly. In life, what makes one person surpass another often is not how many things you see through, but which things you know how to take lightly. Whether a heart is broad or narrow does not depend on how many people you know, but on how many people you can tolerate and accept. Suffering losses does not mean you are a loser. Sooner or later, there will be compensation, and what you deserve will come. Because in life, there will be things that do not go as you wish. You will have to meet people who don't please you. If you cannot take things lightly and let them go, you will live in trouble and exhaustion. Between people and people. Because knowledge is different. Viewpoints are different. Cultivation is different. The way of perceiving and handling problems is not the same. Therefore, sometimes clashes, conflicts, or disagreements with each other are also normal. At times like that, you see forgiveness become a kind of grace, a form of self-cultivation, like an umbrella that can protect you, helping you move forward in the wind and rain. Amidst storms, forgiving others sometimes requires a little. When you give rise to a generous heart or accept a bit of loss, that is by no means cowardice or weakness. The road you walk becomes broader and more open, because life is like the sky. It cannot always be clear and fresh for you to enjoy. Sometimes it will be gloomy and make you sorrowful. Life also cannot forever give you good luck and happiness. At times, it will TT. You taste enough of bitterness and sweetness. So try opening your heart and practicing a forgiving way of life. Step past those people and things that make you feel troubled, and you will see yourself standing high up, looking far out to the very edge of the horizon. The ways of the world usually don't care how much grievance you've endured, nor do they need to know. Of all the suffering and hardship, what people pay attention to is only the results you can contribute. So when you encounter the storms of life, just remind yourself that once you pass through the tempest, the sun will naturally appear. Don't waste your efforts sighing and complaining in front of others, because even if you talk, they won't really care. There are some things that, once you can let go of them, you will feel lighter. There are some people who, when they suddenly come to mind, also bring happiness. A few pains, once clearly thought through, will help you become stronger. Caring too much about one issue will trap you in endless circles. In fact, no matter how simple a matter is, if you think about it too much, it will become complicated. As long as you maintain a calm mindset and an open heart, whatever comes will pass simply and gently. No matter how much regret or fatigue, good fortune or misfortune, what is past is all in the past. Once it's gone, you should put it down so your heart can be at peace. No matter how glorious it was, how outstanding, how many obstacles you met, or how many failures, if you have already tried your best, then there is nothing to regret. In a person's life, there are many things you must do yourself. Only you can truly feel when your heart is broad, the road is open. When your heart is narrow, it is hard to get through. As a human being, you should know to think of gratitude and kindness. When doing things, don't value reason so much that you forget affection. A year has 4 seasons: spring, summer, autumn, and winter, turning in order. But a human life never turns back. You can only sow once and then harvest the fruits. Why not try your best to make that one crop the finest? A human life is wrapped up in just 3 days: yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Yesterday is like flowing water and drifting clouds. Once gone, it cannot return. Today, though it is here, is also retreating step by step into the past. Tomorrow will come, but then it will also pass. In the blink of an eye, a year has already turned its back. A whole life has already ended. Only by letting go of yesterday and cherishing today will tomorrow not arrive in regrets that break your whole life. If you live only by emotion, it's easy to fall into tragedy. But if you are too rational, it's easy to become ridiculous. Without twists and turns, how can you call it conquest? Without worries and suffering, how can you call it life? No matter how strong we are, there are times we are weak. A single compassionate word given to each other can lift us up, awaken miraculous faith. There will be times when the soul feels empty, even while sitting atop the peak of success. Happiness is love and understanding, so it needs sharing and sympathy. But it's not that every bit of sadness you have must be shown on your face, nor that every time you face difficulties, you have to look for someone to complain to. If every pain could be forgotten, no one would bother keeping themselves at peace. If every wound could heal without a scar, there would be no need for taboos in this world. Remember that you are also just an ordinary person. When your body is tired, you need to know how to rest. When your heart is hurt, everything needs to be treated. As long as you have done your best with all your heart, whatever the result, there is no need for regret. Because in this life, there are many things that cannot be achieved just because we want them. We shouldn't make things harder for ourselves. In life, there is only one path we cannot choose, and that is surrender. There is one way we cannot refuse, and that is to grow up. Each obstacle we pass gives us one more experience of overcoming hardship and helps us become more resilient in life. If we can compare a little less, calculate a little less, resent a little less, be more tolerant, understand more, and give more, then every day will be a new day, and the world will become more peaceful. Happiness comes from knowing how. Big matters turn into small ones. Small matters look like clouds and smoke, while our hearts are vast seas beside life. We come to this world, in the end, for only two great events, birth and death. One has already been completed. Only one remains. So there is no need to rush. What will come when conditions are ripe? Once we have arrived, what is the use of waiting with empty hands or yearning? A person of wisdom will not live according to others' tongues, nor fear the gaze of the world. It is enough to understand one's own heart, to observe one's own strengths and weaknesses, then gradually correct them. This is also a way of cultivating one's life. The greatest loneliness is having no place of spiritual refuge, not knowing where one ought to turn. Whether you are aware of it or not, whether you admit it or not. But if, in your heart, there is only what is good and beautiful, then nothing can trouble you. If your inner being is truly kind, you will never resent anyone. If your way of living is truly simple, then no matter how chaotic the world is, it cannot affect you. Being a good person keeps the body healthy, the mind at peace, and sleep restful. Doing good deeds makes heaven and earth understand and know you, and spirits and deities submit to you. If there is no doubt, then the world is not cold. If there is no discrimination, then the world is not distant. If there is no resentment, then the sky is always warm. If no trouble is stirred up, then the four seas will forever be peaceful. True tranquility is not sitting motionless for hours, but knowing how to use a calm mindset to observe all things, to even hear the sound of flowers and grass growing. Enduring stability comes from within. What is sought or desired from the outside can never truly be obtained. People strive their whole lives and toil their whole lives, yet when they depart, they cannot take with them even a single blade of grass or a leaf. If they cling to a lifetime of hoarding and a lifetime of accumulation, in the end, they still cannot take with them even a little empty vanity. Once affection and attachment are born, then, regardless of wealth or poverty, when the road has been fully traveled, everyone must say farewell. Therefore, while there is still a chance, live wholeheartedly. Cherish the people you feel are necessary and dear. Do not chase after hollow standards and worldly show. In one lifetime, there are so many who promise to live 100 years. Yet, as soon as they turn their back, they have already become the deceased. There are also those with whom we have just formed a deep friendship, and upon waking, we find that life and death have separated us. So when there is still a chance, don't cause regrettable things. Don't overthink. Don't be overly sensitive. Don't desire excessively. Try your best to treat the people beside you a bit better, because after this life is over, you may not necessarily encounter again what once appeared in your life. You can only experience, not possess, because we are just travelers passing through. One day we will have to say a final farewell. So whatever has passed, face it calmly and open your heart to welcome what is coming. Be happy. Human life passes very quickly. If we can step beyond illusory fame, we can touch what is true. When life encounters complicated matters, we should resolve them gently and let go of unnecessary entanglements so that our hearts can be at peace and we can move forward. Yielding the way to others helps us avoid petty jostling. When we cast our gaze far, we will see the rainbow after the rain. Packing light luggage allows us to travel at ease on the long, distant road. In fact, the most beautiful scenery is not seen with the eyes, but felt from the heart. Deep feelings need no words, yet can be recognized through actions. Whenever things do not go our way, remember the flow of water, always soft, gentle, quietly accepting and transforming all things without needing to contend or distinguish seasons. If each person could cultivate themselves to that realm, why worry that the world would not be peaceful, that people's hearts would not be calm? Half a lifetime has taught me that impermanence is simply the natural order, and we are but leaves in the forest of humankind, boundless. If there is one eternal thing, it is change. Change that never changes, harshly present in this world. What we call happiness is not necessarily being together. Even if separated by two ends of the sky, we can still be content if our hearts are in harmony, not measured by the passing years. To live little or much is precisely in how we have lived each day. However awake we are after half a life of contemplation, having understood the essence of this solitary human existence, we know that a finite life, no matter how filled, is still lacking. While still alive, as the years spread over the veranda, blurring the drifting pages of our sorrows, we only need to realize that any quietly endured pain will also fade away. In this human life, I have learned that union and separation, ups and downs, all come from fate. When all things return to their old place lightly, we are still often burdened by private concerns. At midlife, when we awaken to the distinctions of right and wrong in this dusty world, we simply smile and face it, living with a heart free of guilt. A lifetime of wandering and worry. Through the months and years, the heart is heavy with countless anxieties. From where did someone tie such stubborn knots? Then, we ourselves cling tightly to those worldly entanglements, learning to let go of the ego. In this world, it is easy for people to hold their heads high, but lowering the head in humility is difficult. Speaking a lot is easy, but knowing how to be silent is hard. Making many promises is easy, but actually doing what we promise is truly difficult and doubtful. Thinking badly of others is easy, but trusting and thinking well of others is really hard to practice. We often see many faults in others, but we hardly ever see our own faults, even when they are right before our eyes. What we do for others, we remember very clearly, yet we easily forget to repay the kindness others have done for us. Loving good, beautiful, lovely people is not as hard as loving those who still have many faults and shortcomings. Bowing the head before cruel power and evil authority is easier. Bowing the head and taking refuge in the sages. Enjoying and chasing after sensual pleasures in this world is easier than keeping precepts and living simply. Guarding oneself according to pure conduct and basic precepts is easy. Strictly maintaining the precepts is what is difficult. Chasing after worldly scenes is easy. Letting go and practicing renunciation is far too distant. How can we keep what cannot be kept? How can the sea fish that gradually pour through our fingers beheld the sleepy cloister of a tempestuous life, tells the wind on high to stop sweeping the clouds away? How can we stitch the garment of time so that the spring bud has not yet withered on our lips? How can we find the old river that feels so strange this afternoon at the accreting, eroding shore? No matter how many difficulties we face today, be firmly convinced that only yesterday can ever return, while tomorrow is certain to come. Thanks to the winter months, we know the spring days will arrive with warm dawns. Thanks to the bitter failures, so that we can smile in fulfillment today. Success, yes. Thanks to the rejections and severed chapters, so that we can firmly lead our steps in practice and experience. Thank you for the painful words. From now on, I know what will be poured out. Thank you for the sporadic sounds that slowly understand the compassionate heart and see that it is not bothered. Thank you for that strange and mistaken day, which now avoids the pit of distant damnation. I would like to thank the happiness that blossoms amidst difficult times, how vast and surely cherished. Thank you for the lonely suffering that makes us pause and learn many things. Or, thank you to the frenzied spinning of life, so that we can cherish a single peaceful moment. Thank you to those who unintentionally made me realize the feeling of being forgotten. Thank you to enemies and loved ones for helping me accomplish the virtue of humanity and harmony. Thank you to the Dharma of the Buddha. In the midst of life's ups and downs, it still is a clear path. Thank you to the vast heavens and earth. Oh, how can I fully speak this heartfelt word of thanks?